Well, Germany's foreign minister has now described the situation in war-torn Sudan as apocalyptic and the greatest humanitarian crisis in the world. Now, the comments come as more reports now have surfaced of atrocities that were committed in the city of Fashir, which was recently seized by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF. Let's get the latest now from our correspondent Naba Mohiedeen. Naba, good to have you with us. A very good afternoon. So please give us the latest from Sudan. The UN Security Council had last week convened an urgent basis meeting to urge for reforms and also call for urgent attention to the current unfolding humanitarian crisis. Give us a wrap. What is the latest in Sudan today?
Thanks, Alicia. Actually, the situation in Sudan is not improving. Despite that, there is a lot of attention is growing right now. We saw many condemnation by international blocs, by many countries and by rights groups and UN agencies. But the situation on the ground is not improving. Hundreds of thousands of people, Alicia, are still trapped in Fashir city and in Bara city, North Kordofan. The battle is not only in Fashir, but also in North Kordofan, in Bara city and surrounding villages. People are still trapped. RSF are carrying out summer executions to people there on ethnic basis. People even can't flee the violence inside Fashir city. Only 36,000 people arrived in Tawila town, western Fashir, amidst a very deteriorating humanitarian crisis. More than 750 children arrived in Tawila without their parents, which is, of course, showing the world how brutal is the situation in Fashir. RSF also are targeting women, are targeting elderly people and children. There is more than 460 people who were patients inside Fashir hospital, the Sauri hospital, were killed by the RSF, and it's documented and it was verified by WHO. The situation on the ground is escalating. The RSF are still committing crimes against humanity and genocides in Fashir city, and the situation is not improving as long as RSF are still controlling Fashir and besieging the surrounding towns and villages. Alicia.
I mean, what current efforts are being explored to bring this crisis to an end? I mean, there are now voices saying that maybe external foreign mediators. I was asking actually an international law expert on Thursday about what is the required and relevant recourse that is needed to resolve this decades-long crisis. We hear that women and girls are currently being raped. People are being further displaced while the world is silently watching.
Of course, right now the situation, the humanitarian situation, is the worsening right now in Sudan. So what is needed right now is to push on the RSF to stop, we can say atrocities, but it's far beyond atrocities. It's crimes and it's genocides and ethnic cleansing against civilians. What is needed right now is, according to people and experts also, they want to classify RSF and designate it as a terrorist groups, and then they want to push on their supporters to stop sending them military support and mercenaries. So tackling the root causes of RSF rebel on the Sudanese country right now and the Sudanese war, of course, will help in de-escalate the situation in Western Sudan, because right now the RSF controlling of Fashir city and North Kordofan and Western Sudan generally, as they are trying to right now with their allies to control South Kordofan, will, of course, it's a threat to the Sudanese unity, sovereignty and its lands as well. So what's needed right now is to push on the RSF because any negotiation and any peace talks amidst very deteriorating humanitarian crisis, and with the RSF is still committing genocides and crimes against civilians, of course, will not be welcomed by a wide population, by the Sudanese people and by the rights groups. So people want peace, but not conditioned peace. They don't want an external intervention in the Sudanese affairs, while they push on the international community to push on the RSF to stop targeting civilians and civilians infrastructure. Then any peace talks can succeed in ending the Sudanese crisis. But this time, the Sudanese people, they are seeing escalation, the military escalation, as a resolution to at least help those in need in Al-Fashir and in Kordofan, and to stop any threats to northern state and to the states and capitals that was invaded by the RSF, including the capital Khartoum and central Sudan. So it's complicated to know what will happen. Some people are supporting the Quad roadmap of peace talks, while others see this is just the humanitarian crisis is just a justification by many powers so that they want to impose a conditioned peace for the Sudanese crisis.
But I mean, is there humanitarian aid reaching those that are in need, Naba, at this stage? Have you seen any agents on the ground? Are they able to access those that are in need of these services?
Very few agencies, Alicia, succeeded in delivering aid for those in need, especially in Tawila city or in Tawila town, western Al-Fashir, including the Red Cross and some UN agencies and UNICEF. But of course, the loose security situation in Al-Fashir and its surrounding is hindering aid delivery for hundreds of thousands of people. So the humanitarian delivery of aid is really short and is very short compared to the number of people who are needing an urgent and life-saving necessities. But some people, including even local NGOs and local charity groups from Sudanese people, succeeded in delivering aid for people in Tawila and also in northern state, from people from Bara and from Al-Fashir who arrived in northern states. So a lot of efforts are needed to push on the RSF to open humanitarian corridors and to allow the humanitarian delivery. But it's of course it's not. People are not trusting that RSF will allow humanitarian aid, as they were besieging Al-Fashir city for more than 17 months, and up to now they are still besieging people who are trying to flee Al-Fashir, who are estimated to be 300,000 people are still trapped in the city of Al-Fashir.
Naba, thank you so much for that comprehensive update. Naba Mohiedeen, the SABC News correspondent, with a live update on the current unfolding Sudanese crisis.